All right, I guess it's time. So hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's session of our Art College Admission Week at Color Academy. My name is Rain, and I'm honored to be your host for this evening. Tonight is very special night for many of us here because we're welcoming one of the most iconic, sorry, what is that? So one of the most iconic and influential art schools in the world, ArtCenter College of Art of Design, with its legendary reputation in the transportation design, product design, and entertainment arts. ArtCenter has long set the bar for what it means to be a visionary creative. But beyond these titles and rankings, and truly impresses me and many of our students is how ArtCenter balances rigor and relevance. It trains not only artists, but problem solvers, not just the designers, but thinkers who shape the culture, technology, and future. It's not a easy school. It's known for its intensity, its high standards, and its transformative power. And that's why we are especially excited to have this opportunity to hear directly from the source what it really to thrive here and what kind of students they're looking for. So very quick notes before we actually get started. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat box during any time, and we'll try to collect them and answer as many as we can. Also, this is the last session of the whole college admission week for Color. If you're interested in other activities, please scan one of the QR code here and stay in touch with us. Now, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to our speaker from ArtCenter College of Design, undergraduate admission counselor, Maria Huerta. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Maria. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rain. Thanks for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Maria Huerta. I am here from ArtCenter College of Design, and I am excited to share information about the college, our programs, and share any information that you are wondering about. I will start by sharing my screen. Um, Okay, so again, I'm here from ArtCenter. We are an art and design school located in Pasadena, California, which is right outside of the Los Angeles region. So we're in Southern California, more specifically Los Angeles County. But as we get started, I do want to kind of have everyone on the same page, letting you all know that ArtCenter focuses on the visual arts. Many art schools also have a range of performing, music, theater. So for us at ArtCenter, we are specifically focusing on the visual arts, whether they be on the narrative and creative side, like illustration, maybe on the conceptual side, like a fine art practice. Many creatives also use lens-based tools, so we also have programs like photography, film, and then on the industrial design side, or more of that problem-solving side, we're very well known for transportation and just in general having a very hands-on, professionalized education where our students are able to bring their ideas to life. Throughout the presentation, I'll start by sharing some knowledge about creative careers in the visual arts, especially as it relates to how ArtCenter structures our education to make sure that our students are job ready when they graduate. Most of the presentation will focus on showing you sample student work from the various majors and walking you through some of those creative labs and maker spaces at the college. I'll wrap up by sharing information about our application process and then open it up to questions so that you can ask anything that you're wondering about. But as we get started on a college presentation, I do want to also make sure that those of you who have been working hard to gain creative skill sets, to always refine your visual communication method, feel confident that your hard work pays off. because there are many professional opportunities in the creative fields. If you're interested in making art, design, anything visual, a part of your lifelong journey. So whether you're in the visual arts and communication sectors, there's jobs like branding manager, you can be an editorial illustrator, you could do motion illustration, you could do curating for galleries, you could do surface design, conservation and restoration of paintings and artworks. Some of you might even be interested in doing comics and graphic novels. There's lots of different specific job titles and job roles. If you are a little bit more media and technology oriented, you'll notice that there's also plenty of professions in the 3D world. So whether you're a 3D character animator or modeling artist or previs artist, those are within the animation sector. You could be a photographer of any type. You could do content strategy. You could do screenwriting. You could do fine art photography. You could design levels for gaming. You could design typefaces, web design. And then if you're more interested in that problem solving side, there's plenty of design roles, whether it's designing motorcycles, medical devices, lightings and fixtures, um, researching trends and forecasting them to create better products. You can design electronics. You can even be an architect doing residential or commercial design. So lots of different job titles, and these are just a few that we're able to fit on these slides. But more and more are coming up as these fields also uh, grow and as we become an increasingly visual society. But the reason why we talk a lot about jobs in an art center education is because that is the very core of who we are as an institution. Since we were founded almost 100 years ago in 1930, we have been unapologetically professional in our scope. So what that means is that we are interested in connecting creative people with creative professions, and that is our ultimate goal. And the way that our education is structured, the types of facilities that we have, the type of people that we hire, everything is in the service of making sure that our students graduate not only with a really high end portfolio, but also with the skill sets, industry know-how to be job ready right after they graduate from the college. One of the ways that we do that is by making sure that the people that we hire are themselves working artists. So if you want to be a shoe designer, you're learning from people who are themselves footwear designers. If you're going to be in transportation design, you're learning from faculty members who are themselves transportation designers. If you're in the animation program, you're learning from people that are working for the animation studios and so on. So these industry professionals are your first sort of connection to the industry. They are always connected to the economy, what's going on outside the college, and bringing that knowledge into the classroom. Our student to faculty ratio is about 8 to 1. So these are very small class sizes. A studio might go up to maybe 12 students, 15 students at most. So these are very close environments where you are learning from people, where you're working with your faculty, where they get to know your work. And that way you are not only sort of working within the college, but you have your first network connection to the industry. Our location, right outside of Los Angeles, is also an important factor that contributes to our ability to continue having a really successful graduates. So we are in the city of Pasadena, which is in the northeast corner of Los Angeles County. Pasadena is more of a suburb residential area. We are more of a college town. We have Caltech nearby. We have Occidental College nearby. We have NASA JPL right down the street from us. So this is a town of college-aged people, of young professionals, of college professors. But we are about 15 minutes away, either through public transportation or driving from downtown Los Angeles. And as you might be familiar, Los Angeles is a cultural hub, not only of the United States, but of the world, where we have access to the heart of the entertainment industry. It's also an area where all of our that brings together a lot of cultural institutions, that brings together a lot of companies and their campuses here in Southern California. So being this close to a region where 1 out of every 8 jobs is related to the creative economy does mean that our students have very close proximity to those opportunities right after graduation. So you don't have to go very far to get a job in these industries. And then it also means that our Art Center, we are able to bring in a lot of industry partners into the classroom. So one of the signature experiences at Art Center is sponsored programs that we run with those industry partners, where instead of a faculty member or a teacher making a project that seems like it would be a real life project, we actually work with companies and their designers to come into the studios and give you a brief that they are trying to solve in their own companies. So here you see an example of a final presentation by a couple of our students for a partner we did with New Balance, but across various companies. We've hosted sponsored projects with Carnival Cruises, with Purina Dog Foods, with HTC, the VR goggle company, with Google, with Adobe. So lots of car companies, lots of different opportunities for our students to work directly with industry professionals in the classroom. And then, of course, we focus a lot on career and professional development, and that starts from the beginning of your time with us at Art Center. Our career and professional development office is constantly working on having students constantly up to date, whether it's super early on, making sure that you have an open and updated CV or resume, starting your own website, understanding how to start branding yourself, how to network, how to put together a professional portfolio, which is different than your admissions portfolio and such. And then at the very end of your Art Center education, something that you can look forward to is your grad show exhibit, where our graduating students are exhibiting their final pieces or their final projects. In the Pasadena Convention Center, and we work with industry professionals, hiring managers, HR people, anybody looking to hire creatives, and you are there presenting your work. You're ready with business cards, you're ready with resumes, you're ready in interview mode to make those professional connections as you're graduating center. We're really proud to be able to say that our alumni do have a very high job placement rate. So our latest survey in the classes of 22 and 23, the people that responded let us know that 95% of them had been employed within that first year of graduating from Art Center. So the majority of our graduating students found a job in their field within that first year of graduating. In terms of who hires most Art Center students, or like a big number of Art Center students, you can look to the biggest companies around the world. So, of course, these aren't surprising. These are giant multinational companies that have a large workforce. So many Art Center alumni work at places like Google or Microsoft or Amazon on the software side, on the product hardware side, in the design world, graphic design, UI design. Of course, transportation companies, social media companies, video game companies, film and entertainment companies. But across our various programs, our students go on and work for a wide range of companies. So whether it's something that is tied to art and design through their products, to companies whose work you might not necessarily always think of artists working in, these all have a variety of different um, departments that utilize creatives and creative skill sets, either to market, to merchandise, to run their interfaces, and a lot more. So as you're thinking about what types of opportunities are available to creative professionals, think outside the box and remember that all of the things around us are designed by a group of creative designers. All of the interfaces that we use are designed by a group of creatives. And even the way that we look at the world is shaped by creative people. Some alumni whose work you might recognize. This is Zack Snyder, film director. He's on the set of Justice League in this picture. In the transportation world, interior designer for the Lucid vehicles is Joanne Jung. Exterior designer is Jenny Ha, also from ArtCenter. Over in the fine art world, this is Patrick Martinez, whose work is in the permanent collections of the Whitney and MoCA museums, as well as other national museums in the US. In the illustration world, many of our alumni have been commissioned for international magazine covers. This is our alum Gracelyn Haynes, and a couple of her covers for the New Yorker. Over in the entertainment space, this is Andy Park, who's the head of visual development over at Marvel Studios. Over in the motion graphics side, so if you're interested in graphic design with a specific specialization in motion graphics, this is Michelle Doherty, who won an Emmy for the opening title sequence to Stranger Things. If you are interested in architecture or architectural type of design, the Apple Concept Store for the flagship location in Manhattan is our alumni Tim Kobe. If you have seen K-pop Demon Hunters, you'll be familiar with the work of our alum Celine Kim, who did the visual development for that. If you're a fan of Nike sneakers or trainers, head of design over at Nike is our alum Martin Lottie. And if you are familiar with this brand new Slate truck, which is billed as an affordable, completely customizable truck that can be turned into an SUV. That is the work of our alum Tisha Johnson, who was over at Volvo before jumping off and starting this entrepreneurial pursuit of the Slate truck. And then finally, our alum Ramona Rosales from our photography department is a celebrity portrait photographer represented by an agency in New York. So you'll see a few of her clients here, from Bad Bunny to Ariana Grande and Lizzo, but you can scroll through her page for many, many more. And then lastly, this is Scott Drake, who graduated from our transportation design department, but is head of campus design at Walt Disney Imagineering. And this is one of the rides that he's designed. This is a Tron ride over at Disney World and over at Disneyland Shanghai as well. But if you are enjoying what I'm sharing about ArtCenter, if it catches your attention, you should know that unlike many US colleges and universities, ArtCenter is a type of place where you don't just apply to the college, you apply specifically to the major. So for us, most of our students are coming in declaring a major, and we do require a major specific admissions portfolio. This allows you to specialize your education such that in the first 2 years, you're learning all of the core skill sets for your discipline, allowing those second 2 years for you to experiment more, to create your own visual language, to start getting that niche that will help you really get into the type of profession and the type of industry that you're interested in going into. We do hold about 20 to 25 spots each fall for students who want to come in undeclared. That is through our first year immersion option. First year immersion option doesn't teach you new skills, so it isn't a place to catch up and gain the skill sets for a new major. Instead, it allows you to sample the different art center majors. So if you're not sure what would be a good fit for you because maybe you haven't explored product design or maybe you've never tried graphic design, and you're open to exploring, first year immersion is a great option that allows you to sample the different majors in your first semester as you use your second semester to start deciding what that ultimate major will be. It doesn't add time to graduation. It just makes you, it just shifts your course order around a little bit. All right, and this is going to be the most exciting part where you get to see ArtCenter student work. If you are wondering what majors you have to choose from, ArtCenter is primarily an undergraduate institution. So we have about 2,000 students pursuing bachelor's degrees and about 300 students pursuing master's degrees. On the bachelor side, we award two types of degrees: the Professional Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. So this is a degree that I hope you're all looking at if you want to be a working creative professional. So our BFA offerings are creative direction, film, fine art, graphic design, illustration, and photography and imaging. We also award Bachelor of Science degrees, and these are for our design degrees. So these are, again, more problem-solving oriented, technically oriented programs. The Bachelor of Science degrees are in entertainment design, which covers animation, concept, and game design. If you're looking for animation at ArtCenter, you're not going to find it as a standalone degree. It's going to be part of our entertainment design program as our concept and game design. We cover interaction, product, spatial experience, and transportation design. If any of you are applying as international students or are going to be coming in with a student visa, please know that all of our BS degrees are STEM accredited. So they allow for an additional 2 years of OPT. So that means that you might get up to 3 years of working in the US without worrying about changing your visa status. The BFA degrees come with 1 year of OPT only. We do have 4 minors: business, creative writing, material science, and social innovation. You are able to major and minor. You are not able to double major because every program has its own special curriculum, and it's just not possible to double up on the type of courses and the course load. Okay, so from this point forward, I hope you're all excited to see the work. So if you've been nodding off, if you've been falling asleep, this is your time to wake up. I'll start with sharing work from our illustration department. So this is our BFA in illustration. BFA in illustration is the program for people who want to tell stories through drawing and painting. So many of our students at ArtCenter are in the illustration major because drawing and painting can cover a wide range of applications. That also means that it might be a little bit difficult to become really specialized if you're doing a wide range of things within drawing and painting. So you'll notice that our illustration program is divided into 5 tracks that are essentially a customized set of courses that allow you to take classes that are going to be much more specific to a certain career path. So illustration design, which is typically the traditional publishing, print, editing, is one of those options. If you want to apply your drawing and painting skills to the entertainment industry, so whether you want to do character design, storyboarding, backgrounds, matte painting, visual development, all of that is covered in our illustration program with the entertainment arts specialization. So here's a sample of a story world interior, and over on this side, you'll see creatures and landscape works. If you want to use your drawing and painting and apply it to surfaces and manufacturing techniques, we have surface design. And if you're interested in moving storyboards, types of things that are often seen in commercials, this is a commercial for GoPro cameras. You also see this in movie title sequences. You also see this in music videos. This is motion illustration. And then finally, if you want additional sort of gallery type of role, we do have fine art painting within illustration. You do not have to pick the track when you apply to ArtCenter. Everyone in illustration takes the same first semester courses, and in your second and third semesters is when you decide what you want to specialize in. Our second largest major is entertainment design. This is a Bachelor of Science degree. So as I mentioned before, anytime that you hear this BS degree at ArtCenter, these are problem-solving oriented majors. This is where you are working towards resolving a challenge. For us,
The house smells awful. Well, why? Does it smell that way? We have to go to that tone already. You start off so nice.
make sure you can hear this. Within entertainment design, we focus on animation, concept art, and game design. And animation is the program or the track for people who actually want to animate and make things move. So you'll notice that unlike illustration, which is the visuals for the entertainment industry, animation is actual character performance and creating the narratives.
The house smells awful.
Well, why? Why does it smell that way?
Did we have to go to that tone already? You start off so nice.
Look, all right, I'm sorry.
So we do 2D. The one thing to know about the animation program at ArtCenter is that we do 2D, 3D, and stop motion. And in your first 2 years, you're doing both 2D and 3D. So you do not choose at the very beginning. You do both. So you understand the whole production pipeline in both 2D and 3D. Once you get into your third year, that's when you start to decide what you want to specialize in. And you start working on group project or capstone projects where you are working as that individual role that you are interested in pursuing. So for example, if you want to be a 3D character animator, you're working, or a 3D character modeler, like an example here, you would be working in 3 to 4 projects as that 3D character modeler. So when you graduate, your portfolio has a variety of sample work as a 3D character modeler. That gives you a range of pieces instead of just one comprehensive masterpiece that you have been building. It also signals to employers that you know how to work in a team, that you know how to manage a project, that you know how to collaborate. And that's exactly the type of roles and skills that you need to have to be successful in the animation industry. Everything is very collaborative. Similarly, in concept design, this is all you are working collaboratively in your second 2 years, creating the visuals for either people in the animation industry or people in game design. Because as a concept designer, you are the world builder. So you're designing the characters, vehicles, environments, props, all of the specific details that make these worlds come to life in a much more realistic fashion. So you notice that there's an in-world logical consistency within these paintings, within these objects that are being designed that tell a story besides just what the character is doing. It also integrates history, lore, background info, and so much more, the technology that they have access to. So concept designers have to be very flexible and very dynamic in their ability to design all types of production assets. And finally, if you're a non-visual person and just wants to prototype games, we do have a game design track. This is for people who are interested in making games and kind of working on the player experience. So whether it's a simple sort of like platform game, this like bubble game, these are in like the earlier terms, tabletop and board games, card games. This is an example of level design for console games or RPGs. And then we also work on fully immersive experiences within gaming. So this is an example of a game where you are a magical food truck and your goal is to just make sure that your customers' orders are being served. And what you're doing is inputting your gameplay through touch, buttons, moving things. So it's a full 360 experience in this specific space that has been transformed into a game. Another example of this type of gaming is escape rooms and mazes, haunted houses, haunted mazes, those types of things. So we work on a wide range of gaming opportunities. If you're interested in live action, we do have a film program. So this is a BFA in film. This is for people who want to be directors, editors, or cinematographers. If you want to be working in the entertainment industry, like Hollywood, for example, if you want to make full-length films, if you want to do shows, this is that type of program. From day one, you are behind the camera in a sound stage, understanding set safety, how to direct your actors and actresses, how to, and you're working on videos, commercials.
I'm daring.
Everything that you create at ArtCenter, you own, so you can ensure that you are able to sort of put your work in film festivals and get your work out there. If you're interested in still photography, we focus on image making. And so that is understanding all of the foundations and the tools to be able to bring an image to life, whether it's to tell a story, to do portraiture, to do advertisement, to do product photography, architectural photography, sports photography, event photography. Our alumni go on to have successful photography practices and just be working photographers. And then I'll pause here with fine art just to make sure that you know that the fine art program at ArtCenter is the program that works with students to create their art practice and become exhibiting artists, become practicing artists. So this is a major that is very conceptually oriented, that is very theory oriented, it's very experimental. So whether your art practice takes the form of paintings or installations, or sculptures or performance and time-based pieces. Fine art at ArtCenter is for people who want to be working artists. It is not the major that allows you to sample a lot of things. So if you're interested in that broad experience, try starting with first year immersion instead of applying to fine art. Fine art is specifically for people who want to be working artists. And then as I start to wrap up, I'll go through our design degrees. So our design degrees are largely industrial design, but we are able to focus more specifically. We work on consumer products in product design. This is everything that people buy, from smartwatches, to phones, to goggles, to shoes, to lamps, to vacuums, uh, kitchenware, pots, pans, luggage, furniture storage, gaming hardware and consoles. That is the realm of product design. There's a hard goods side to it, which you just saw, and then there's soft goods and wearables, which are more like fashion oriented. These are more performance wear. This is working with new materials, making things breathable, making things light, ergonomic, and be embedding technology within it. And then we are very well known for our footwear design. So we have a lot of alumni at Nike, at Puma, Adidas, and a lot of other menswear footwear companies. We are also able to specialize in transportation design. So ArtCenter is very well known for our transportation designers. Many of the cars on the road today have some type of connection to ArtCenter, be them, consumer vehicles, be them Formula One vehicles, be them luxury, supercars, speed cars, and custom cars as well. This is just a small sampling. Our transportation designers are looking at the future of mobility, whether it's for a branded project for already existing studios, or to bring brand new ideas into life. We focus on exterior design as well as interior design. That's a lot of cars, but we also work on watercraft, aircraft. So you can be doing emergency vehicles, public transportation vehicles, buses, those types of things as well. And then architecturally, our program is spatial experience design, and this focuses on the actual human experience of a space. So whether it's the approach to the building, the landscaping, the choreography to get to and through the building, whether it's branded retail spaces that connect with consumers, or community spaces. Spatial experience designers are working hand in hand with architects to make their spaces relevant to the users of the future users of that space. And then if you're interested in technology, I encourage you to check out interaction design, which is our human-centered technology major. This is for people who are interested in using the advances in technology and bringing them into what we do every day. So that could be through products, through goods, through services. It's just trying to figure out how do we get our daily lives improved by the new technology that exists. So whether it's through an app, sometimes it's at the urban scale and making for more efficient public transportation options and information, AI voice assistants, and kind of figuring out what AI can be used to help solve. Um, that's on the interaction design side. And then lastly, graphic design is our communications design major. This is for people who want to combine image, color, photography to communicate information. So graphic designers are finding ways of getting information come to life so that people can understand a certain message. Motion graphics is really popular right now with the rise of screens. This is a trailer for an event that our students created. Of course, there's environmental graphics or large posters. So this is a project for the FIFA World Cup section in the United States. Of course, logos, print, publications, brand identities, creating fonts, creating website design, packaging. That's all a part of the graphic design major. And then lastly, if you are a multidisciplinary artist who's more of a strategist, creative direction is for people who want to combine graphic design, photography, film, um, and other disciplines to send a message, to lead campaigns, whether it's for advertising purposes or for public safety announcements, or to get a company a specific branding identity with their clients. Creative directors don't focus on any one specific discipline. They have a strong graphic background, but they are the strategists behind all of the art campaigns. So they're often also called art directors. And then finally, this is going to be really quick. I just want to make sure that whatever you are sort of considering for your future, if you are interested in being a creative professional, I encourage you to really look at art and design schools, because we focus on our creative majors. And so our spaces, our labs, our facilities, the types of tools that we have, whether it's, presses for lettering, whether it's specific research labs for the type of information that our students will need across our majors, the different equipment that you can check out, the types of spaces that you need, whether it's a film stage, a photo stage, studios, the type of technology that is emerging in your fields. Art and design schools are specifically focused on making sure that we stay up to date, to make sure that our students have access to all of the different support systems and tools and people that they need to have their ideas come to life. So these are some of the spaces at Art Center: film studio, photo studio, printmaking studio, auditoriums, transportation design center, Hyundai, Kia, mobility lab, sewing lab. There are schools who focus on ceramics who will have great kilns. There are schools who focus on jewelry design who will have a lot of tools for jewelry design. Every school will be slightly different depending on what they focus on. These were some of the options for Art Center students. And if you are interested in learning about how to apply to Art Center, we have a very short application. We do not require SATs or ACT exams, so no standardized tests. And we do not require letters of recommendation or references. What we do require is your transcripts from your academics. And then we also require a couple of essays. One is a short answer: why are you interested in this major and why are you interested in Art Center? And the other one is a personal essay. But the most important part of your application is going to be your portfolio that is specific to the major that you're applying to. So if you want to do graphic design, we'll ask for 6 to 10 graphic design projects. If you want to do interaction design, we'll ask for 3 to 5 interaction design projects. If you want to do transportation design, we want to see your transportation design. So just make sure that you are familiar with Art Center's portfolio requirements, because they are specific to what major you want to do. If you're interested in first year immersion, that is a general portfolio or a portfolio of general work. So you can be a lot more multidisciplinary and experimental in the first year immersion portfolio, but the other majors do have much more specific requirements. We bring in students in the fall and in the spring, and we do rolling admissions, but we really encourage people to apply by our priority dates so that you get your decision at around the same time that other colleges in the US are releasing their decisions. We are about to approach our early action date, which is November 15th, but please know that early action at Art Center does not improve your chances of admission. It doesn't make you eligible for more scholarship. So it's only if you want an earlier decision. If you need more time to work on your portfolio, please submit by our priority date, because the portfolio is the most important part of your application, not just for admission, but also for scholarships. If you're applying as an international student, our scholarships are going to be based on merit, largely based on your portfolio. Art Center does not award full scholarships at the admissions level, either for international or domestic students. They're always partial. Your goal should be to work on a portfolio to give you a strong partial scholarship coming in that stays with you for all 4 years. Once you're a student at Art Center, you can apply for additional scholarship every semester by submitting work to your department. Those are called continuing student scholarships. So that adds to whatever you received at the admissions level. Again, my contact information is on the screen. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you want to schedule a one-on-one appointment, if you want to come to tour our campus, or anything else. Please do feel free to reach out. We are happy to help, especially because everything is portfolio and major specific. So there's always a lot of questions about our specific requirements. Thank you all for listening, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Maria. I do collected, I think, 5-ish, 6-ish questions here. I'm gonna read them based on the order I got them. So the first one is like, what does a typical first year foundation classes or curriculum look like in our center?
So we don't have a foundation year. We go directly into your major. That is why we ask for a major specific portfolio. So typically, when you in your first semester, you are taking, if it's a BFA program, you're taking 4 studios in your major and 1 writing class, which is required for all bachelors in the United States. And if you have a Bachelor of Science degree, it might be up to 5 studios in your major and 1 writing class. So for us, we don't do a foundation year. You go straight into your major. So those first 2 years in your major are going to be the training for that major. So usually students at finishing their second year at Art Center, their portfolios are at the level that many other schools' portfolios are at graduation because we are focusing on that major from the very beginning.
All right, thank you so much. So next question, like how much weight does a center take in a portfolio on like, technical skills and their creativity?
So for us, we place high emphasis on the technical skills because we don't have that foundation year. So I would say, even though, we don't have a sheet where we're, calculating, I would say that it's about half and half. We need to we need to see the skills so that we know that you will be okay in your first and second semesters. And the creativity is going to be super important, and usually, if you have high skill sets, you're going to be able to have a lot more experimental work in your pieces. You're going to be able to explore a lot more. Um, I guess you're going to be able to do more with higher skill sets. So they're kind of related. But I would say that for Art Center, you do want to make sure that you do show us some solid foundation skills in that major.
All right, thank you so much. What is that? Okay, so just quick notes for everyone. If you have other questions, please type in there. I think we got around 10 minutes ish, right? So we've got enough time for several more questions. Okay, so next one, for students submitting work in digital medium, is there a preferred platform or format?
So Art Center's application is it's our own. We don't use a different platform. I recommend using PDFs because it preserves the integrity of your piece so we can zoom in. But I will say that generally, if you're applying to a BFA program, it's helpful to just do full slides or full images. So if you're doing illustration, one illustration, another illustration, so take up the whole page, and we don't need to see process. If you're applying to anything that has design in it, then process is really important. So that should be like a slide with process work, design decisions, and then final. And that includes graphic design. But if you're doing like illustration, fine art, photography, we don't need to see process, and you should take up that whole page.
I see. Okay, thank you for answering that question. Next question is about entertainment design. So what type of career paths do you typically see in this major?
So with entertainment design, you will notice that I can show you. You will notice that the career paths are very specific to those industries. So in concept design, you're going to be a concept artist. Of course, there can be specializations as like character designers, level designers, a lot of environmental designers, so a lot of like landscapes and such. Here, let me play that. But, ooh. I'm not sure what happened, but does this work? Yeah. So you'll see that entertainment design is very specific, and this major is intended to focus on the pipeline for the entertainment industry. If you're doing entertainment arts through illustration, then that becomes more visual development, background artists, matte painters, that type of work. But within the entertainment design BS, it's all of the types of roles that you would see in a story, in a studio pipeline.
All right, so Mr. Tians, do you have question over there? You may speak out. You may unmute yourself. Sure, go ahead.
I wanted to know if you're getting to interaction design, what's like a good portfolio that you could build?
So with interaction design, we're looking for 3 to 5 interaction projects. A lot of people start with apps. So an app design is a good introduction. Many people stay with screen-based ideas. I would say that if you can at all kind of vary it a little bit. So other types of interactions might be maybe like toys or something physical. That could be something. Another one might be like information systems. So maybe like rethinking a database or how you use a library, something a little bit more like spatial. But it is possible and it's totally sort of it's something that we see somewhat often if you're only doing like 3 app designs. But yeah, or website designs if you're like rethinking the whole structure of a website. But with interaction design, the most important thing is that you show us how your decisions are being impacted by you thinking about the user experience. So if you're redesigning an app, you're like, okay, this menu isn't really working, so I'm gonna, make it look like this because people are thinking in this way more naturally. So it's about making that connection of the user experience. Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much. So next one, do you have pre-college summer program for animation?
We don't. We usually have standalone courses, but right now we don't have any we don't have like the program finalized. So stay on our mailing list, and as soon as we have our list of offerings, you'll be notified.
Okay. So next one, how many majors can we apply at one time?
One.
Only one. Okay.
Only major where we might ask you for a second major is if you apply to entertainment design. We'll ask you if, because it's the most selective based on the number of apps that we receive. So we ask you to list a second major. And if you are not accepted into entertainment design, we'll show it to the second major. But if you are accepted, we don't show it to the second major.
I see. How about the minors? So they apply for those at the same time?
For the minors, you can select at any time during your time with us. And many times, ideally, the minors are your humanities courses that you're already taking, so it doesn't add time or credits to your degree. But you can choose those once you're enrolled.
I see. Okay, hope that answered your question. Then next one, what is the housing policy for first year students?
So all housing is independent of the college. At the moment, we don't have any residences that we own. And so what we do is we connect students with each other, with other art center students. So we help you find accommodations, but it's not owned by the college. We do award housing stipends as part of our scholarship offerings that go directly to the student to help with that transition as well.
Thanks. Next question, is process work needed for entertainment design portfolio?
Yes, that is a big difference between entertainment design and illustration because in design work, you are fine-tuning, you're finding better options. And so we do want to see that process work for entertainment design. If you're doing animation, focus on in your character sheets, focus more on poses and gesture rather than like 3D or 360 turnarounds. But in concept design, focus on that design process.
Okay, thank you. So everyone, we still have around 5 minutes. I think we can take 2 or 3 more minutes. Have a question?
By amazing cat.
So go ahead. You can speak out. Just unmute yourself, please. Lily Liu, you can just speak out, please.
Yes, I have a question on the game design. As it is a major specific art portfolio requirement, what will be focused? What are you looking at for game design?
So for game design, we ask that a student write no more than 8 pages. It's a proposal for a game. And so we're asking for them to explain the game mechanics. We're asking for them to explain the all the details of gameplay. And we do have about 4 to 5 specific questions to help students structure their game proposal. So it's a written portfolio for game design.
Okay. If they already design the games, do they need to submit? Is there a place they can submit it, or
If they have any prototypes or something that they've already submitted, they can put that in additional works as well. But the only required pieces is that 8 page
right? Okay,
Mhm. But yes,
thank you.
yeah.
All right, we got next question. Do you offer pre-college programs for high school students?
Just those standalone classes that we'll be publishing probably in the new year. But no full like residential 3 week, 4 week experiences just yet.
See, can you just elaborate like how does it work? So how long is it? And then I
So it will depend on the class. In the past, we've done we have some shorter offerings, which might be like 1 to 2 week intensives where it's essentially, a full school day. And we typically do that for entertainment design, transportation and product design. We also have had courses where it's 1 or 2 days a week for, longer periods. So it just depends on the specific course. But at the moment, I don't have the offerings that we'll be working on, so I can't really give you an idea of what that will look like.
all right. So next question. What is your acceptance rates?
It depends on the major. So, because major specific, I will say that generally, you don't have to worry about competing with another student because since it's skill-based, it's very skill-based, and that means that we're just looking at your portfolio, and we're deciding if you'll be successful. The only majors for which there is a little bit more of a traditional admissions process is going to be entertainment design, animation, concept, and game design because of the volume of applications that we receive. But for every other major, just make sure that you meet our requirements and you show strong skills, and you should be okay.
I see. I think one question happens into Mr. Tian, which is, are concept arts in tournament design majors required to learn 3D?
You don't have to have 3D skills before you apply. A lot of concept design work is painting oriented. So Photoshop is actually the industry standard. With yes, like 3D work that then gets kind of painted over. So it's like, or even like photo bashing and painting. So it's typically a combination of softwares, but it's ultimately like a painting. So you're always refining it in Photoshop.
All right. So I think our time is up. So any other questions from the, oh, okay, I got one more here. So for industrial design, what does the portfolio look like and what the acceptance rate is?
So for product design, right, consumer products, we want to see 3 to 5 projects that solve a problem. So we want to see how you think about addressing a very specific issue. So we recommend working on projects that you might be familiar with. So maybe something in the kitchen, maybe if you play a sport, you know, a tool for your sport. If you have a pet, maybe it's something for your pet. So something that you can be very familiar with so that you can show how your proposal is addressing that function that you're trying to improve. Um, so for product design, I don't know the specific acceptance rate, but just like any other major aside from entertainment design, what makes it difficult is not the that you're competing with other people. What makes it difficult is that we have a high standard. And so with product design skill-wise, we want to see your ability to sketch, especially sketching for industrial design. We want to see problem solving as well. So that as long as you're able to show that, you should be okay. But there are many people with really high rendering skill sets that are not solving problems, or maybe they're just focusing on aesthetics, and that's not a successful portfolio.
Okay, I've just got another question here. We'll just answer it. When apply for entertainment design, do you have to specify which track?
Yes. Yes, for entertainment design, you do have to specify the track because each portfolio requirement is different. Concept design requires 2 to 3 story worlds that showcase your ability to design characters, vehicles, environments, and props. Animation requires a story pitch that has 3 to 5 characters, 5 story beats, storyboards, and some animation clips. So it's very specific to that major.
All right, so parents, students, any other questions? Okay, I think our time is up. So thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation and for giving us such a rich perspective into ArtCenter. To everyone here tonight, I hope you walk away with clarity, inspiration, and the deeper sense of the school and what it meant to choose a school that truly suits you. Then if you have more questions, feel free to contact Call Color. And we wish you all the best. Have a good night, and we'll see you in the future. Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you everyone for joining us. We'll end the meeting. You have a good night. Bye.